From where I'm standing, the lad did exactly what was asked of him. Simple as that. This was a European match played at an incredibly high level, and considering the magnitude of the stage, I thought he handled himself well. He didn't shy away. From the occasion, didn't crumble under pressure. He stepped up. But let's not kid ourselves, the performance wasn't flawless and not everyone was satisfied. After the final whistle, Junior didn't mince his words. He was visibly frustrated. And when he faced the press, you could tell the disappointment ran deep. He said the referee's decision not to award a penalty for that blatant shirt pull on Cyril Dessers was a game changer. We're obviously disappointed, angry even, he admitted. We know we could have done more, played better. I think Bilbao were the better side over the 90 minutes, but that doesn't take away from that moment. The penalty decision. It matters right now, it stinks, and he's got a point. In matches like these, one decision can swing the whole narrative. European football's ruthless like that. One bad call, one missed chance, and it can all fall apart. And for Rangers, who had poured so much into this campaign, to see it unravel in such fashion, especially after coming so far, it's a brutal pill to swallow. The atmosphere after the match was heavy. Players were gutted, fans equally heartbroken, and all eyes now turn to what comes next. Because one way or another, change is coming. And speaking of change, let's talk about the real bombshell that's been brewing behind the scenes, the 49ers takeover. It's official, Andrew Kavanagh and 49ers Enterprises are finalizing a deal that will see them acquire a controlling 51% stake in Rangers Football Club. This isn't just some rumor floating around. It's happening. The legal wheels are turning, the paperwork's being drawn up, and the Ibrox power shift is moving closer to reality with each passing day. For months now, Kavanagh, an American healthcare tycoon, has been deep in discussions with key shareholders. Since October, in fact. He's been trying to build a coalition strong enough to trigger a complete regime change, and it looks like he's finally got it over the line. Alongside him is Parag Marath, the chairman of Leeds United, and a familiar face in English football circles. These aren't just investors. They're people with a plan, with ambition, and with serious backing behind them. The takeover as it stands is only being held up by legal processes and regulatory approvals. The money is there. The shares are there. The vision is clear. There were whispers going around that former Rangers director Sandy Easdale could potentially hold the key to the whole deal, that his stake, now sitting at just over 2%, might be a deciding factor. But according to what's coming out of Ibrox, that's not the case. His shares aren't essential, and the suggestions that the deals hit a snag are being rubbished by those in the know. Everything is on track, and if all goes to plan, this thing could be wrapped up by the end of next month. That's the timeline insiders are working with, and for fans, it means a new era could begin before preseason even kicks off. Dave King, the former chairman, is set to offload his major stake, officially ending his 25-year association with the club. And alongside him, John Bennett will also sell his shares, giving the American consortium around 20% of the club outright. The rest that'll come through deals with smaller investors and a planned rights issue. Piece by piece, the new owners are building their power base, and they're doing it with one goal in mind, taking Rangers back to the top. Not just in Scotland, but in Europe as well. And make no mistake, they're not just here to shuffle some papers and take fancy seats in the director's box. This is about transformation, real, visible, long overdue change. There's serious investment coming both on the pitch and off it. The old guard is stepping aside, and a new leadership group is preparing to step in. Familiar faces at the top will be moving on, and the message is clear: Rangers are being rebuilt from the top down. King himself has spoken about it openly. No, back. In February, he described this deal as his parting gift to the supporters. After everything he's been through with the club, the boardroom battles, the Mike Ashley saga, the financial chaos, he wanted to ensure that Rangers were left in good hands. Not just financially stable, but with people at the helm who understand what the club means to its fans. People with the skill set, the ambition, and the resources to take Rangers into the future. According to King, that kind of investor wasn't going to be found in Scotland, which is why he looked abroad. And now it looks like that search is about to pay off. Kavanagh has been a regular presence at Ibrox in recent weeks. He's not just signing checks from across the Atlantic. He's been on the ground watching games, feeling the atmosphere. He was there for the first leg of the Europa League quarterfinal against Athletic Club. and he returned for the second leg in Bilbao. A gut-wrenching night that saw Barry Ferguson's side knocked out in agonizing fashion. Alongside him was 49ers technical director Gita Steinson, both of them getting a close-up view of just how much this club means to the people around it. For Ferguson, that night in Bilbao marked the end of the European journey this season, but he's still got a job to finish. There are 5 games left in the Scottish Premiership, and he's made it clear he's giving everything until the very last whistle. I'm going to finish the season as strongly as possible, he said after the loss, for myself, for the players. I haven't sat down with anyone yet about what comes next, but we need to get it sorted soon. The club needs to get back to challenging. It's been a good European run, no doubt, but now it's time to focus on silverware at home. He's already given the players a few days off to reset and regroup, but come Monday training resumes. There's still business to take care of, and Ferguson wants to go out on a high. Whether he stays beyond the summer is still up in the air. That decision will likely fall to the new owners, who are expected to name a permanent manager once the season ends. Alongside that, a new sporting director will also be brought in, laying the groundwork for what many believe could be a new golden era at Ibrox. The mood around Ibrox is tense, but full of anticipation. Supporters know something big is coming, and not just in terms of fresh faces or boardroom shakeups, but in the very DNA of the club. The Rangers' identity is built on pride, tradition, and the expectation of success. For years, fans have watched rivals lift domestic trophies while the light blues struggle to keep pace consistently. European runs have offered a glimpse of what the club can still achieve, but it's always felt like something was missing. A spark, a proper footballing structure, and the kind of financial muscle that could match their ambitions. That's why this takeover matters so much. It's not just about shares and contracts, it's about belief, and that belief is being restored step by step. The presence of someone like Kavanagh, who's not only wealthy but hands-on, gives fans a reason to dream again. He's not here to play a passive role. He's been at the matches in the director's lounge, speaking to people, getting a real feel for what Rangers are all about. His interest goes beyond balance sheets. He wants to win, and he wants Rangers winning too. Not just surviving, not just competing, but dominating again. From all accounts, his vision for the club is bold. The plan is to modernize every corner of the institution: scouting, recruitment facilities, youth development. Everything is up for review. This summer is shaping up to be the most significant in years. Once the season wraps, and assuming the full legal bits are all squared away, the Americans will waste no time putting their stamp on things. The first big call will be the managerial appointment. Ferguson's done what was asked, steadied the ship in Europe, held things together domestically. But the reality is the new owners will want their own man. They've picked someone who fits their long-term vision. Names have already started floating around in the media, but the truth is no one knows yet. What is certain is that the profile will be different. They'll look for a modern coach, data savvy, someone who can bring a fresh style and rebuild a squad in a new image. The days of playing catch-up are over. Rangers want to set the pace again. And it's not just about the manager. The sporting director role is just as crucial. For too long, decisions at Rangers have felt reactive rather than proactive. Too much short-term thinking, not enough strategy. That's going to change. The Americans will bring in someone who can oversee the football operation from top to bottom. Someone who understands squad planning, contract negotiations, youth development, and how to build sustainable success. That kind of structure is what separates modern football clubs from the rest. You only need to look at clubs like Brighton, Brentford, or even the way Celtic have structured their recruitment in recent seasons. There's a plan. There's cohesion. Rangers want that too, and now they might finally have the tools to make it happen. Behind the scenes, the buzz is that serious money will be invested, not just to patch up holes, but to properly strengthen the squad. Key areas will be identified, targets lined up early. The days of scrambling in the final weeks of the window are hopefully gone. Expect changes in the medical department, performance analysis, and even the academy setup. The message from the new owners is clear. They're not here to sit still. They want to evolve fast. But with all that change comes pressure. Rangers fans are passionate, loyal to the bone, but they don't suffer fools. Whoever comes in, manager, sporting director, new signings, they'll be judged quickly. Ibrox demands success. That's the weight of wearing the badge. And that's part of what makes the club special. You don't get time to ease in. You've got to be ready from day one. Meanwhile, the boardroom's getting a fresh coat of paint. The people who've kept the club afloat in the last decade through chaos administration, lower leagues, and rebuilding are now stepping back. Dave King, love him or hate him, played a key role in stabilizing Rangers when they needed it most. But he's recognized the time has come to pass the torch. He wants to leave with dignity on his terms, offering what he calls his final gift, a transition into new hands with fresh ambition. There's a sense of closure there, a recognition that his chapter is over, but the story of Rangers is far from finished. John Bennett, too, is stepping aside, selling his stake to give the 49ers group a strong base. Between King Bennett and a few other key investors, the new regime is getting close to holding the majority. It needs to fully control the direction of the club, and that's important. Without that, control change is always slower, always tangled in red tape. But with a firm grip on the board, the Americans can act decisively. And they're going to need to, because the expectations are sky high. At the fan forum scheduled for Wednesday, CEO James Stewart is expected to speak directly to supporters. He'll be answering questions, offering clarity, and laying out what comes next. It's a crucial moment for transparency. Fans want to know what this takeover means for the future, not just in terms of the first team, but the entire club. How will it affect ticket pricing? Will there be changes to fan engagement? Are traditional values being preserved amid all the change? These are the kinds of questions being asked in pubs, online forums, and social media threads. And rightly so. Rangers are more than just a club. They're a cultural institution. Any new leadership must respect that. For now, all eyes are on the final few weeks of the season. Ferguson's job is to keep the squad focused, push for every last point, and finish strong. There's still a lot to play for, pride included. But beneath that surface, something far bigger is taking shape. A takeover that once felt speculative is now all but done. Legal documents are being finalized. The money is in place. The vision is locked in. And soon Rangers will have new leaders at the helm. Leaders who believe this club can be more than just competitive. They believe it can be dominant again. This isn't just a business move. It's a statement, a declaration that Rangers are not content with being second best, that the days of being reactive, of watching from the sidelines are over. From the terraces of Ibrox to the boardroom and training ground, a new chapter is about to begin. And if the promises made behind closed doors become reality, this could be the start of something special. Rangers are standing at a crossroads, and for the first time in a long time, the road ahead looks exciting. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. Is crucial for Rangers FC fans. In a move that set tongues wagging across Scottish football, Rangers have appointed club legend Ali McCOIST as their new director of football. The announcement, which broke earlier today, has sent a wave of emotion through the fan base, many of whom still hold McCOIST close to their hearts as one of the most iconic figures ever to wear the blue jersey. For supporters, it's not just a strategic decision, it's a homecoming. McCOIST, who scored over 350 goals for Rangers during his glittering playing career, is no stranger to the Ibrox corridors. Having managed the club during some of its most turbulent years, he's intimately familiar with both the pressure and the passion that come with the job. Now he returns in a different capacity, one that will see him overseeing football operations, helping shape the club's long-term sporting vision, and working closely with the first-team management. There's no doubt in McCoist's football brain. His time in punditry has only sharpened his understanding of the modern game, and his voice has remained a trusted one among fans. His appointment comes at a critical time for Rangers, with the club pushing to close the gap to Celtic and seeking to regain dominance domestically while making strides in European competition. Many will see this as a statement, a move that reconnects the club with its roots while planning boldly for the future. McCOIST brings not only experience and charisma, but a deep emotional understanding of what Rangers means to its supporters. His challenge now will be translating that passion into clear results, helping identify the right players, structure the squad, and provide a steadying hand behind the scenes. As Rangers look to the horizon with renewed ambition, having a legend like McCOIST back in a leadership role could be the spark that reignites the fire. Greetings, fans! Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comment section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.